Feibai here, getting the Renekton. We've seen Feibai's growth as a player throughout the tournament. It was under a lot of scrutiny after the group stage, but then found his footing in the knockout stage and looked pretty good. Another threat that ThunderTalk can play through, and so that Renekton will help. Zed going back to the side of the DKG.
Kind of functioning as an extra ban here, the first pick Zed, and that'll mean that it can't be played by Z. He still does have a very wide pool of characters he can pull out in the mid lane here, though. Riku, you were calling for the Fizz. I would love to see something similar to that during the latter half of this draft.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, ThunderTalk doesn't have to reveal too much in their draft just yet because they've already seen DKG's mid lane. And at the same time, I'm also curious whether or not Feibai is going for default. Is he going towards the scaling part of things, or is he going to revert back or revert into something entirely new that we've already seen in the first game, which is setting up for the early game for the rest of DKG. But I like the Senna pick. Do you want to pair it with a Gragas? Do you want to pair it with the Malphite that we've seen constantly? And Z is going to be on this Twisted Fate that will definitely enable the side lane as well as the early game.
And this is looking an awful lot like one of those Vietnamese pick compositions that were very popular around the time of the SEA Championship. And it's going to revolve around the Twisted Fate's gold card from Z to open up fights. Once he lands a gold card, you can look at the Renekton stun, the Senna route as follow-up tools. And the idea is that individual targets get caught by that chain of stuns and just get melted. It actually works very well into Jax because he cannot dodge the gold card.
Well, surprisingly enough, the Jax gets on through. We talked a lot about Feibai's Jax coming on in, and that will get locked for DKG along with Brand, but it's Malphite coming on over for ThunderTalk.
I think both the Malphite and the Brand are very important to note on here. The Malphite is going to be paired with the Senna, so the Senna is giving extra gold over to the Malphite, and he's going to be able to build AP or if he would like to and do a lot of damage. On the opposite side, the Brand, though, is the reason this Kha'Zix is coming out. That's going to be an AP scaling character, DKG, relying on their late game team fights here, recognizing perhaps that ThunderTalk are going to be able to drive them late.
Riku?
And we finally see the Spooky Ghost Assassin here in the finals. It is the Twisted Fate paired with the Assassin. Basically, when you hit level 5, you're going to hunt down the enemy jungler, which in this case is going to be Feibai, who wants to farm peacefully in his jungle. Peace no more for him, because Destiny into the Kha'Zix is going to be deadly.
Yeah, and it's a Leona to close things out here. So you got the Zed, you've got the Jax, you've got Brand. There's a lot of damage on this DKG squad, but ThunderTalk going to try to, at level 5, when you get the ult, start to dictate the pace of the game. And that's going to be a lot on Z. And we've seen Z play this Twisted Fate before. He turned it into Machine Gun Twisted Fate with Rapid Fire Cannon. You just dish out a ton of damage. You can attack further than other people and will be able to outspace Feibai in certain situations here, TJ.
Which puts an awful lot of emphasis on the moments just around the time he hits level 5, around the 8 to 10 minute mark. That's where Twisted Fate can kind of break away from the game. He farms more efficiently than other characters, and if he can earn a gold lead right around then, race kind of past Lichbane and RFC before other players have reached their second item, he is a terrifying single target damage threat.
There it is. The drafts have been locked. The characters have been swapped. All that's left to do is get into game number 2. Let's get down over to Singapore with Brandon and Oma.
Well, peace is no longer an option. Dakun Gaming pulling out all the stops at ThunderTalk. Well, they respond in turn. Omo, what do you make of this draft?
Well, I don't know what to tell you here, Granted.
You want me to do it?
Please, go for it.
All right, well, ThunderTalk are feeling the pressure, so they decide to play for some early game strong pickup champions. Once they have those, they get Z to roam around, they get S12K to engage DKG. Well, they farm up, they scale, they do a repeat of what we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, you got some good points there, Grant, and I gotta give that one to you. But on ThunderTalk's side, like TJ mentioned, there's a timer on their comp. There are things they can do. It's very heavily reliant upon the Twisted Fate Kha'Zix duo. But once the game gets going, once Feibai gets a couple of items, Counter-Strike's just gonna shut down Z, and that's not what you want to see here.
Well, we do see them go into this game. Game number 1, we didn't see anything too out of the ordinary. Both sides look to do that again.
Yeah, look at the bot lane though. This time around, we might see something a bit cheeky from Azure and S12K. I don't think they win this one. Their jungler just says, you guys don't win that one, come leash from me.
Yeah, give up on that idea entirely. They're going to go back towards that turret. Just hold on there.
Yeah, well, I want to touch on DKG's draft a little bit here, right? We talk a lot about the Twisted Fate, about the Kha'Zix, their ability to control the early game in terms of a 2v2 situation, mid-jungle setup, but DKG, this comp, I think they could not be happier. If you think about DKG drafts, this is about it. You get a stable top side, you get a mage bot laner, along with some engage from Emo, and you just allow Yo and Hueba to do their thing, and this draft enables just that.
Look, it's not Garen, but it is that Leona, and you were talking up Emo in that previous game.
Thought he did great.
How does this look? How does Emo look like on Leona?
Yeah, I think Emo's Leona is one of the best as well. We consistently see Leona not be a valued pick here in Wildrift, not be a strong pick in general, because she's just hard to play. It's hard to hit Solar Flare, it's hard to hit your Zenith Blade, but Emo makes these spells look point and click. So I think he's going to do a great job here, pairing together with Wind. That's a lot of potential magic burst damage as well, and that allows Hueba and Yo and YK to really just clean up these team fights. And look at this, ThunderTalk's mid jungle, they are working as a duo, they are running in tandem, they don't want to give Hueba this.
Okay, well, Hueba's going to have to back off, and very nice presence of mind from ThunderTalk to deny that one away, especially since they had vision, courtesy of Feibai, so they were able to contest that early on.
Yeah, and look at the bot lane here from ThunderTalk. They wanted to start off that scuttle, but they're just going to back off. They are going to say, we don't want to get collapsed on. And it looks like once again, ThunderTalk, they try to go for a double scuttle setup, but they kind of fail on the execution. I think the timing, the syncing is a little bit off here from TT, but that's okay right now. What is the timing window they need to hit? They need to hit level 5s on Z, level 5s on Chris. They need to get the outs, they need to find something before or as the dragon gets started. And they need to get these little pickoffs to get tempo for the dragon.
And it's so difficult for ThunderTalk because Dakun Gaming have such a powerful bot lane pairing, right? Emo as well as Win have an incredibly strong bot lane duo because
a lot of burst.
Because you have a lot of burst. This is a weakness, this is a strength that not a lot of marksman plus Leona pairings have. The weakness that Win does have is that he's a lot more immobile. He doesn't have as much utility, so it is a little bit more risky for him. So if ThunderTalk are able to get the initiative to get the pick off first, it could punish this bot side duo.
Especially at level 5, right? I cannot believe I talked about ultimates for ThunderTalk side without mentioning the Malphite ultimate. I mean, we do see a lot of them miss here in the Horizon Cup thus far. To be fair, it is a very hard spell to hit.
They flash away from it. It's not a miss, it's a dodge.
However you want to defend these players, I think it's fine.
Well, that didn't miss because they get the engage onto Win. That should be a kill. And first blood over to ThunderTalk Gaming. Perfectly on timer, 3 minutes into the game.
Yeah, we were having a little bit of a chat that we didn't even notice the level 5 timer from Z. I don't know how Chris died.
No,
that's not
Z's
great.
Gone. It's a double.
No, Z died as well.
Things are going terribly. Yo's come in now. It's onto SOK. He will take him down chilly. And 3 kills go back over the DKG.
And they're going to go for the dive here on Feibai as well.
Waiting out the dominance. The Ignite comes across and with the counter-strike, it's only a matter of time. And time for Dakun Gaming to find 4 kills in game number 2.
Brandon, Dakun Gaming. Well, it looked good for TT yet again, right? It seems like that's a recurring trend. It looks good for TT for a second.
It's all a lie.
It's all a lie. It's all a mirage. It's an illusion. The moment you look away at DKG, they run the game. And let's take a look at the X replay right now. S12K sets this one up very nice. I want to pay attention to how Chris and Z die with little mechanical mistakes. Chris runs in. He takes too many turret shots. He didn't flash out in time. I don't know if it's nerves, I don't know what it is, but here on the final stage, these little mistakes are costing ThunderTalk so much. I thought Chris died somewhere else. I didn't even see him die to the turret there because it just didn't make sense in my head.
We had to watch that one twice. It's so painful to see. Well, Dakun Gaming to get the initiative towards the Rift Turret again. ThunderTalk have that gold card ready so they can perhaps look for something.
Not available. He's not here.
It is, yeah, it's up, but he's not here, so it's a big pain point. Dakun Gaming grab that Rift Turret.
I don't know, like it seems like things are starting to collapse here for ThunderTalk. They need to reassess the situation. They need to take a breather. What they did well in
What's
game
going
1,
on? Why did Chris start that one up? SOK will come in with a double man knockup. Yo comes across, has to flash, but he has so much damage available. They trade back for the Zen, but 2 have already fallen. And with Azure stuck in the pit, he won't be able to buy much more time. He finally joins into the fight, but Evo is there. Win is there. The power across this bot side, threw away, but Joe said it's good measure, it's good night for ThunderTalk.
Oh my goodness, Grandin and DKG yet again! They get everything! Rift Herald takes the top turret, they take the kills, they take the dragon, they take it all. It looked good for a second here, but look at the Pyroclasm. It bounced. Win's gonna need to change his name after this. It's gonna be DKG Fire after he finishes the set here. This Grand Pick is doing so much work in every single skirmish, in every single team fight, and he's just burning ThunderTalk alive.
Look, I can't speak for anybody else, but that's my kind of humor. Well, DKG get that second turret for themselves. Will also demand pressure from 3 from ThunderTalk to respond to this push.
Look, I don't know what to tell you here, Big G. This game 2 is looking brutal. We thought we saw a huge swing in momentum in game 1, but DKG 5 minutes in game 6 minutes in game, sorry, and they get a 6,000 gold lead. This is exactly what we talk about. When they get control, it's 1,000 gold a minute. When you get control against Darkin, you look away for a second, and they're even yet again. Darkin's not going to let that happen. They are going to keep this lead, and they are going to press the advantage consistently.
DKG will continue to push the advantage, and for a composition that was supposed to pressure the early game, ThunderTalk are losing that window. Well, point and click, he just walks out. It's like, all right, well, respect
It's to show that he can hit it. That's the point.
Respect me.
Exactly. He heard us talking about his point and click solar flash, and he had to put on a show for us. I mean, if he was in position and the Pyroclasm did get the bounce yet again, then that would have been a disaster, right?
Well,
but once again,
in position to get the catch on to Z, the flash away, this Twisted Fate, just to stay alive. There's so much pressure here.
Grandin, it's the same thing as last game. They have too much burden to make something happen. ThunderTalk, the only place that Twisted Fate can do is to play around Chris on this Kha'Zix. And they started it off well with the bot play, but little mistakes just make them lose their tempo completely. With the tempo gone, Jax really just takes over a game. Twisted Fate can never threaten him with his counter-strike. Chris has the presence of mind to check that, but why can't he do? Look at Z, what can he do? He's stuck under his turret. He cannot pot to the Renekton lane. He cannot play around his jungler. ThunderTalk, they have no control. They have no foot in the game right now.
And Omo, didn't you glean a little bit of insight towards that Twisted Fate pick from some of the teams today?
Yeah, well, this was exactly the problem. We kind of were eavesdropping on them in the dressing room, and they were saying when we pick Twisted Fate, we lose the team fighting power in the early game. That's exactly what happens right now. That's exactly what you said. D-Gon and TJ, they mentioned once Twisted Fate gets some items, he starts to be able to pump out damage. But you need so many items. You need Rapid Fire Cannon, you need Lich Bane, of course, the Roa as well. 3 items. Counter items for me, Brandon. How many does Z have right now?
Well, I'm going to say 1.5. It's looking pretty close just to take completion.
It's a very difficult spot for him to be in. And if he has no avenue to play around, his jungle has to play hide and seek in his own jungle. Chris is not having a fun game. Fabai can never push past neutral. He can never threaten side with turrets. Where can Z go? He can't do anything. Destiny Gate has been used once in 8 minutes, granted. It's not a good spot to be in.
Yeah, YK is gonna hold his own here on the turret. What's happening here? Zero, he stepped too far forward. He thought he was the one that was gonna dive. YK there, instead he was the one that was being caught out.
I can tell you what happened. That yesterday we saw, or not yesterday rather, but we did see SBTC do this, right? When they play Senna Malphite, they'll swap who's playing the Senna, who's playing the Malphite. Maybe Azure forgot he was playing the Senna. Maybe he thought he was on the Malphite for a second there.
All right,
only explanation I have.
Fair enough. I'm gonna take that. DKG grabbed the Rift Herald now. It's a nice little pickup. The second Dragon also available in just a few short moments. And the first game, an incredibly close early game.
Yeah.
Second one cannot be said the same.
So yeah, look at this. Z is gonna try to pressure this because he has backup. But this means that they lose full control of the Dragon. And Yo is trying to be a bit fancy here.
What happens here? Dodges away from the gold card. Nice use of the Hourglass. Yo's just gonna bait that one away. He jumps back. He's back on the Z. Plus the flash of the Ignite. It's gonna burn him down. There's only so much he can get done. Point and click truly coming through from Emo as the rest of DKG will topple over TT.
And the only thing ThunderTalk can do is to steal this Dragon away. They sneak it away from DKG, but all it does is just give them a bit of scaling. What's the scaling matter when DKG are in full control of the game? How long can you scale? How long can you stall? I'm gonna tell you right now, Brandon, not very long. This Rift Herald is gonna get tier 2 for sure. It might even threaten tier 3.
Well, Darkun Gaming are looking absolutely monstrous in this series. ThunderTalk can only do so much to hold their own, even with arguably the best laner in the world in the form of Z. it isn't enough against the pressure available from DKG.
Yeah, and that's exactly the thing, right? When TJ talked about the blueprint that Sengoku used to shut down Z, they said you ganked his lane and you punished him. Now DKG, they're going for a very different approach. They are the best team in the world for a reason, because they're the best team. Not individual players, best team. And that's exactly the problem here. The best player in the world may be Z. He can't do anything against the rock-solid front that DKG represents. Point and click!
Once again, gets the catch into Azure. I'm not sure if they had a follow-up though, but Emo will definitely make it a pain point for Azure.
Yeah, look at the discipline from DKG. They know exactly where they can be on the map and where they cannot be. Z ran top lane. He sat in that bush. He's still sitting in that bush, but no one's there. It's completely empty. DKG, they're taking your jungle.
Oh, I think you're getting really riled up after this game.
It's amazing. No, I think DKG are just playing so extremely well right now, Grandin.
It feels like at every step of the way, DKG have put the pressure on the ThunderTalk. It feels like they're waiting for that Baron just to make sure they have all the tools there to close out this game in the best possible way.
They can't do anything. They have to sell Z.
They have to sell Z, but Yo's gonna be able to get out. Oh no, Yo's gonna join it, but Z's gonna be able to get out.
Yeah.
Just barely in time there.
I do like what Z did right there. He waited to use the gate until after YK used the silence, so he didn't get interrupted. It was this nice little mechanical play, but still, what is that? It's not even a consolation prize. I can't even say that's a consolation prize. He uses Destiny Gate for the second time this game to run away.
Loss mitigation.
I hate that term. Loss mitigation on the grand final stage it's not exactly what you want to see, but it's a situation that ThunderTalk are in. Now, I'm not saying this game is over just yet, but I want to see them drop for more scaling the next few games.
Look, but loss mitigation is an appropriate way. We saw how KT Roaster were a team that could come back from bad situations. For ThunderTalk, though, it doesn't feel like they've been put in those places too many times before, and now tested to the limits with Dakun Gaming, they are faltering.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the series between ThunderTalk and KT yesterday, they played it to 5 games. They showed off so much of what they had in their books, of what they prepared for the final stage. Dakun, I think they're reading them like a book right now because they saw yesterday what they can expect from the team.
Well, once again, it looks like Z's gonna get caught out. They're actually indecisive. A little bit of Fei by, a little bit of Z. They have both options. Astral Gate comes in now. Doesn't get anything done. He goes golden, dodges away, win! You're a monster in this game. Dakun Gaming will just punish ThunderTalk more.
Dakun Gaming, this team is not real. We've been saying Z's not a human. He's too good to be a human, but Dakun Gaming, they're 5 members. They're just too good right now. Not only are they reading every single map movement from ThunderTalk, they're reading the mechanical plays. They're reading the outs that they're gonna use before they even use it. When Golden as S12K was mid-air. And keep in mind, he was in the center shroud yet again. So he was ready to go there. Win, I don't know what to tell you. He's playing so well. Yo was playing so well. Emo was playing amazingly. YK is going aggressive.
Look, he doesn't really care. In between 3 people of ThunderTalk, it doesn't seem like that's going to stop it at all. He's going to get caught out. The flash away. Wayman still comes in though. Has the counter-strike available. Gets the 2-man stun. Z running for his life back on the turret, but the rest of ThunderTalk, they've held themselves in their own stasis. That's their own item that's keeping them locked up in crowd control. As Dakun Gaming will clean up the bot side of ThunderTalk.
And Grandin, after game 1, I told you I needed to see ThunderTalk ban away the Zed. Yo is too good on it, it puts too much pressure. But after this game 2, I don't know what to tell you. Do you get to ban away Zed as well as Brand? Because then what do you leave up? That's something we've talked about time and time again. And it looks like, look at this, they have no options. They can't stop the Baron. Z just tries to push bot lane tier 2, but he's not even gonna get it, I think.
I can feel how exasperated you are almost, so I'm gonna give you a second to breathe, because Dakun Gaming, they're gonna take a second to breathe as well. They get the Baron, they're gonna reset, come back in, and 14 minutes into the game, they're looking to close out game number 2 faster.
My goodness, Grandin. Dakun Gaming. I mean, I'm a bit frustrated for the side of ThunderTalk, but I can tell you, they are trying to make every play they can. That first bot lane play that they made was picture perfect. It was timed so well. 3 minutes, 10 seconds was the timing of that play. You could not have done it any earlier, but still, Dakun Gaming, they will always find a way back into the game and then to snowball the game. And that's exactly what we're seeing here in this game 2 as well. They're gonna get the Dragon, and I think with the Baron in their back pocket as well, what are they gonna do? They're gonna spread onto 3 lanes, maybe even 2, they're feeling it, and they're just gonna pressure the inhibitors of ThunderTalk.
And we've had so much opportunity to talk about the strongest jungler in the world.
Yeah.
But now we're looking at maybe some of the craziest moves from this bot lane. Win and Emo have been phenomenal in this series. Yo has been amazing. ThunderTalk, they recognize they have to force something now, but they go for Emo instead, and Win's still gonna be alive. That's the re-engage. They get the takedown on the Chris. Jungler down, Jungler gone. Yo looking for a re-entry angle. Z's gonna use his stun, but it's not gonna get much done against DKG.
Yeah, they tried to make a play. They brought 5 members in. That's what I talked about. Twisted Fate cannot stun a Jax. It's just not possible, especially when it's Hueba's Jax. Well, I just jinxed it, right? But it doesn't matter. It's too little, too late. And now their back's against the wall. Tree lane's being pushed from DKG. What can you do, ThunderTalk?
Okay, well, that actually does matter because they might just take down Hueba on the turret, extend it too far. He pops the counter-strike, but still goes down. In the meantime, Emo, he's going to take the turret himself. He says, I don't need a team to do this. The supports will get things done. At the end of the day, DKG walk away with this mid-lane inhib.
Granted, DKG, they're just playing brilliantly right now. They lose Hueba, but it doesn't matter. They get the inhibitor. That's what they came for. They're gonna reset, they're gonna back off, maybe even wait for the Elder Dragon because they can. And then they're gonna come back in, they're gonna barrel down the lanes, and they're gonna push ThunderTalk back into their base.
I don't think there's much more of a base to get pushed back into. I feel like you're at the fountain, you're maybe getting pushed out of the game at this point.
I don't know what to tell you here. Chris is desperately trying to farm something up. You keep talking about Cyrilda's Grudge, but he can't even pick it up. You can't even get it in time. Z's trying to recharge, but what does it matter?
Okay, forcing engage onto Win this time around. He doesn't have as much utility.
That's all he can do. It's too little, too late.
Hueba's not even anywhere remotely close to the fight for Daku Gaming. Just taking the time, making sure they have the cleanest win they can get at this point.
That's not something you would typically say about Darkun Gaming. This is a team we know loves to take these risks, loves to push their mechanics to the max. But keep in mind, this is the grand finals of the first ever international Wildrift event. Cross their T's, dot their I's, and they want to win that championship.
And this second game will get them one step closer to winning the championship. But until that point, ThunderTalk, they're not entirely out of it, even though the gold kind of looks that way, the kills kind of look that way.
Granted, in the last game, TJ said that Z was in Diana Gem. So what do you call this? Twisted Fate Purgatory? I don't really know at this point.
Well, I think that's a fair statement to make.
It's just rough. What can you drop for him? Riven's banned away, so what else does he have left in his playbook? Are we going to see a Fiora mid next game? I don't know.
Fiora's banned as well.
By them, actually.
By
That's something to
themselves.
keep in mind, yeah. But I also don't think Fiora's a good matchup against Zed, so what does he have left?
First pick Zed, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's it. You're a genius. Maybe ThunderTalk should hire you, Granted. I think that's the play, really. Honestly, it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but that's just how I always sound. I think the first pick Zed is the way to go here for ThunderTalk. You need to see Z pop off. And that's Baron in the books here for DKG. Once again, you're gonna barrel down your lanes.
Well, let's add one more thing to the books. Let's also add the DKG win because they are looking for it themselves. Barely misses out the solo flat. That could have been the game to get the pick up on the Z. They're looking to take down this turret. The last stand from ThunderTalk. The turret standing in between their way. But YK, he's so strong. Look at this Gary. He doesn't even care. Hueba diving under the Nexus. Z sent running back into the base. There's nowhere left to go. The only place to go